JRBT has gone by a lot of different names during its long history. It is headquartered in 4 different office buildings, and through the years, thousands of talented professionals have been part of our story. But as much as things have changed over the past 100 plus years, one thing that has remained constant is our commitment to treat our clients, team members, and our community with integrity.
The history of JRBT begins with a Michigan-born accountant named Arthur Christian Uplegger. Born in 1883, A.C. Uplegger moved to Waco from New York City in 1913. Over time, he would become one of the most well-regarded accountants in the state of Texas. It was said that so-called respectable people of the early 1900s only trusted New York City accountants. New York firms sent junior accountants to Texas believing that they would be better suited to cope with the blistering heat and the possibility of facing a six-shooter.
Stick 'em up.
As it turned out, those beliefs weren't all that far-fetched. Shortly after arriving in Texas, Uplegger was conducting an audit in Bell County when a shootout between the sheriff and 2 brothers erupted outside. Uplegger was unfazed, later saying that he just kept his head down and continued to work. Despite this raucous introduction to life in the Lone Star State, Uplegger embraced Waco as his hometown and served as a volunteer and booster in the community for the next half-century.
Partnering with Henry Jerome Falk, A.C. Uplegger opened a Waco accounting office in the Alico building. And through a series of splits and mergers, the firm known then as Uplegger and Falk would evolve over the next 76 years into the modern-day JRBT. Uplegger entered the accounting profession before the idea of certification was widely accepted. In fact, the state of Texas didn't start certifying accountants until 1915. A.C. Uplegger sat for the CPA exam in 1916, becoming the 42nd accountant certified by the state of Texas. By 2020, there would be more than 117,000 accountants certified by the state. In 1919, Uplegger and Falk moved out of the Alico building and relocated to an office in the Praetorian building just a few blocks away. The firm would remain there for the next 30 years. Uplegger and Falk's reputation continued to expand outside of Waco, with offices opening in Dallas, Tyler, and Corpus Christi. The firm even operated branches in New York and Washington, D.C. In 1925, 12 years after the formation of Uplegger and Falk, A.C. Uplegger and Henry Falk dissolved their partnership, and the firm became known as A.C. Uplegger and Company.
Like a lot of other cities after World War II, Waco experienced a sharp increase in population growth. At the same time, Uplegger's firm continued its steady growth. After occupying shared office space for 37 years, the firm moved into its own custom-built office building in 1950. An item in the local paper proudly announced that the new 4,250 square foot building was air-conditioned. That same year, Uplegger celebrated a significant personal milestone, marking his 50th year in public accounting.
The 1960s were certainly a period of change for the country, and the same could be said of A.C. Uplegger and Company. In 1965, the same year construction on the Lake Waco Dam was completed, the firm would take on the name of Main LaFrance and Company following a merger with that national accounting firm. For the first time in 52 years, the firm would not reflect the name of its founder. In 1969, after dedicating more than 50 years of his life to the service of his clients and his community, A.C. Uplegger died at the age of 86. But he left his love of the Waco community and his spirit of volunteerism deeply imprinted on the firm's DNA. Today, our team members carry on Uplegger's vision of community involvement, investing hundreds of personal hours in their schools, churches, local charities, and community projects. By the late 1970s, there were several indications that the firm was rapidly moving into the modern era of public accounting. Although slow and clunky looking by today's standards, the firm's first computer represented a major step toward streamlining its accounting practices. And after more mergers and alliances in 1979, Main LaFrance became part of the international accounting firm of KMG Main Herdman. 1979 was also the year the firm moved into its new and our current headquarters on Bosque Boulevard, leaving the downtown area after 66 years. Looking back now, it's hard to imagine there was a time really when orange carpet and ashtrays were regarded as commonplace office furnishings.
Following another series of mergers in the late 80s, the firm became part of one of the largest public accounting businesses in the world. The U.S. branch of the firm was known as KPMG Peat Marwick, which is now just KPMG. On April 29, 1989, partners Larry Janes, Mike Rittmeyer, Gary Boyd, and Jim Therrell purchased KPMG's Waco office, heralding the start of the modern-day JRBT. In the 30-plus years since the formation of JRBT, our firm has continued to grow, now boasting a team of more than 100 dedicated professionals. Since the turn of the century, we've also expanded the scope of our services. Having launched 3 new divisions since 2000, JRBT is now also a respected leader in the field of employee benefits administration, payroll support services, and services for financial institutions. Although JRBT established a solid local and regional reputation many decades ago, in recent years it has earned an increasing amount of national attention. In 2018, JRBT was recognized as one of the top 300 accounting firms in the United States, repeating that honor in the years following.
It's not possible to talk about JRBT's past successes without mentioning where we're headed in the future. When we consider all the things that have contributed to our success and longevity, there's one thing that really stands out. Decade after decade, our team members continue to honor the time-tested values on which this firm was founded more than a century ago. A.C. Uplegger established the standard for JRBT's future leaders way back in 1913. Since then, JRBT has been guided by professionals who have followed Uplegger's model for quality leadership with vision, demonstrating fairness, honesty, and an unparalleled work ethic. And we believe that's what will carry us on through the next century.